Hey guys, I'm here with another video for you. First of all, I wanted to say thank you to all of my new subscribers. I think I'm up to 25 now, which is amazing, and I'm so thankful. As many of my new subscribers know, Simon from the Hermit's Cave did a wonderful thing on his Facebook group where he allowed other YouTube and content creators to come on and share their YouTube channel links so other people can subscribe and just kind of get out there. And I subscribed to so many people. Pretty much everybody that I saw on there that had a link or a name, I subscribed, and I have so many videos to watch and I couldn't be more excited. But it's really amazing for him to have done that, so we can all get to know each other and be, acquainted and, get together a lot more. So I'm excited that you're here, and I'm excited to watch all your videos and see where this community goes. But today, the reason why I wanted to do a video is because recently something has been happening to me with my tarot readings for myself, in which I have been getting stalker cards, or a stalker card I should say. It's one card in particular, and this card has been coming up in pretty much all of my readings. And actually, the first time that I came in contact with this card on more of a, I would say, raw emotional level was when I first got my Marielle tarot deck, and I was just looking through the cards for the first time. I had just opened it, and I was looking through them, but I did a video that had to do with the majors and then my intuitive first impressions of the majors. And then when I went back to go look at the minor arcana and all the wonderfulness that was in there, there was one card that struck me. And the moment that I looked at that card, I apologize if you hear my dog. He's always has to be here when I'm filming. So there was one card in particular that that I had a really response to, specifically in the Marielle Tarot. And when I saw it, I was like enthralled by it, okay? And it was the Seven of Wands. This card instantaneously brought tears to my eyes. And I just, like, even right now when I'm looking at it, I don't know what it is about this card that made that real raw emotion come out. I mean, I've had, raw emotions with dealing with the tarot, but this was on some crazy level. And even right now, when I look at this card, it's like, it's not like a sadness, but it definitely is, it's raw emotion. So I saw that card, and at first, I was like, God, I have to read about this card. What is it about this card? I mean, it's Seven of Wands, but what is it about this card? And I thought, I'd read up about it. And for those of you who don't have the Marielle Tarot, I'll just read what it says about the Seven of Wands specifically. And if I can find it. Okay. So here it goes. The Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands, it's from the Marielle guidebook, The Landscapes of the Abyss. The Seven of Wands was inspired by the white horse of the chariot. The allegory of the human soul in Plato's Phaedrus. I'm going to butcher that, I'm sorry. Plato described the human soul as having three parts: a white horse, a black horse, and a charioteer who used reason to control and balance two horses or two opposing energies. These two horses, the black and white, are akin to the black and white towers found within the iconography of tarot. a concept of duality that exists throughout philosophies and mythologies of the world. Not every division of duality is equivalent. It is the property of duality itself that is most important. Plato describes the white horse. The right-hand horse is upright and cleanly made. He has a lofty neck and an aquiline nose. His color is white and his eyes dark. He is a lover of honor and modesty and temperance and the follower of true glory. He needs no touch of a whip, but is guided by word and admonition only. Plato also describes each god having their own chariot, and each is drawn by a white horse only, implying that the white horse is divine or spirit of opposed to the black horse, which is of the gross world. Men are dual in this way as well, earthly and divine, and must balance these two aspects of the self, the spiritual and the mundane. Key words here are morality, valor, goodness, the will of the soul, hero, master of your higher self, civilized and tempered. Traditional divinatory meaning: success, gain, and profit. So, that was my first kind of initial connection with the Seven of Wands. Then I realized when I was just kind of, getting new decks, familiarizing myself, doing, deck interview spreads and just doing different tarot readings for myself, the Seven of Wands kept popping up. And it wasn't, I think, until probably the third time that I realized that, hold on a second, I think there's meaning to this. This card keeps on showing up. And it was after I had this reaction to this card. It just kept happening. And like I said, after the third time, I was like, hold on, there's got to be something to this. So I thought, okay, that's really cool. So, it's basically what it is called, is like a stalker card, or a card, or cards that can keep coming up in readings whenever you're doing readings, whether you're just, doing 1 card, 2 card, 3 card, whatever your spreads are, these cards or card just keeps coming up. So after my third time it came up, I was like, okay, there's got to be something to this. Not really knowing which direction to go, as I'm fairly new to the tarot world. I was actually in a live chat on the Tiger's Abyss probably a week and a half ago. It's like a Saturday night. I can't remember exactly when it was, but it was when he does his lives and he'll do live readings and, just chatting. And I asked, in the live chat, what do the other people feel about these stalker cards? And I explained that I kept getting, the Seven of Wands kept coming up for me in my readings. And I think somebody in there said that means that there is something, the meaning of that card is something that you need to address or work on in your life now. So that got me to thinking, about this Seven of Wands and doing some research on Seven of Wands. And as you all know, and if you don't, there are usually a gamut or a facet of different people's keywords or meanings to the Seven of Wands, and what it can mean to them, as well as what has been written in books. The Marielle Tarot is in my opinion different than any other deck that I have, and so I have some examples of the other cards that I've been working with to pull out to give you a view of how the Seven of Wands looks in different decks. So here I have the Seven of Wands in the Tattoo Tarot. I've been really liking this deck a lot, actually. I keep finding myself pulling this deck, and it's a little unusual for me because I have more of a Rider-Waite, background, and this is, I guess more of like a Marseille or Pip-ish kind of style deck. but I've been really, really drawn to this deck, and I feel like it gives you just such clear answers, and it's just kind of like boom, like here it is. But anyways, here's the Seven of Wands from this, from the Tattooed Tarot. And I thought it'd be interesting to kind of see what the Seven of Wands means, you know, in the Tattooed Tarot guidebook. And I feel like this one is more of like the traditional meanings, but let's take a look. So here it says, Seven of Wands, resolute, firmness, and bravery. Overcoming challenges even if outwardly against the odds. Winning through fighting from a position of advantage. The strength of personal integrity. So that's the one from Tattooed Tarot. And as I was like, you know, just going about my business, you know, on a daily basis, and, you know, just working with my cards, because I had acquired some new decks, and just kind of, you know, trying to work with them on a daily basis, the Seven of Wands came up again. And I'm like, okay, there is something here that is telling me that I need to pay attention to this or work on this. And I felt like because it was like reoccurring in my spreads, of just like, even when I was shuffling, it would pop out. Like it would just pop out of, you know, when you're shuffling and cards pop out. Some people pay attention to those cards, some don't, but I tend to at least take a look at them and see, you know, what cards are they. It's just out of curiosity. And I was working with the Raven's Prophecy Tarot, and again, Seven of Wands popped out when I was shuffling. And this is a different depiction of the last two that I showed you. It's beautiful, and it's definitely a different depiction. So, you know, it's almost like, you know, where do you go from here, right? So if you have a card that keeps popping up, or, you know, coming in your spreads, and then you have all this information in front of you, and if you've even, you know, made it, or if you know, or you have a definition for the Seven of Wands in your head, then how do you go about putting that into action so you can either resolve, acknowledge, or, you know, move forward? Maybe put some closure on it. And it got me to thinking, is there or will there be closure? Because when I realized what was happening, I actually sat with the card, Seven of Swords, the ones that would pop out. And I looked at them and I sat with them, and I basically like meditated with them to see if I can get some more insight or a deeper understanding. And I felt like I was kind of getting blocked, and maybe I wasn't fully immersing myself into that experience. And maybe these cards aren't telling me to meditate on it, but to take action. So then I got to thinking, okay, well then how do I take that action? How do I take what these cards are telling me and put it into action? And I've been thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it, and I think I have a problem sometimes of overthinking, and that can be a real monster, because if I just, you know, have an idea or a thought in my head, and I just, you know, take that thought and I concentrate on that thought alone, and then I move forward with it and do what I need to do, then it's great. But then when I start overthinking and thinking about, well, the X, Y's, and Z's, and then this and that and that and that, I never really get to the actual answer, you know, or to what it is that I'm trying to figure out, because I've just bogged down my mind with all these different thoughts that really had no relevance to what my initial question or concern was. So I have that problem. So then I started thinking, well, maybe I'm just researching this too much. Maybe I'm overthinking this. Maybe I'm just doing what I do to situations when I should just really go back to the initial, you know, Seven of Wands card that brought that emotion in me, the Marielle, and just take time to sit with that card and take a look at the meaning or the keywords of that card and see how I can put that into action. And what I found is that it seems to be a common thing with these stalker cards. And I thought it was very interesting, you know, because I personally didn't know much about it until it just started happening to me. I'm sure it's happened to many of you as well. And I'm just kind of curious what of you, or what other options or ways do you guys go about learning more, deepening your understanding, or working with these stalker cards, and how and what they mean to you? Because I feel like with tarot, as there are many facets, I feel like each personal experience with the tarot is different than my experience with the tarot, and vice versa. And how I feel about stalker cards may be completely different than what anybody else feels about stalker cards. And I feel like there's just so much untapped, you know, discussions out there about, you know, this information. And maybe there are, I just missed it since I'm fairly new to this whole YouTube community on tarot. And I just thought it would be a really cool thing to discuss. And I'd really like it if you guys can comment and tell me, you know, what stalker cards you have and how you guys work with them, and what have you found that kind of help deepen your understanding of those cards. Is it meditating? Is it putting something into action? Is it simply just acknowledging it and then moving on? But then what do you do if they keep coming back? So I just thought it would be a really cool video to share with you about the stalker card that I've been having, and obviously ask you guys, I mean, what does the Seven of Wands mean to you guys? Like, what are your meaning for the Seven of Wands? You know, these cards, you know, they all look different. So it's like, you can really, in my opinion, if you didn't have, you know, any keywords or anything, I mean, you could really take a look at each of these cards and they would strike a different meaning, in my opinion. So I don't know, just kind of interesting to hear, have a little chat and see what you guys think about this. And like I said, if you guys have stalker cards, what cards stalk you, and just maybe some ideas or some advice on what I can do to better, you know, understand the stalker cards, and what like you found that has worked. So anyway, I just want to come and do a video real quick, talk about that with you guys, and I hope to hear your, you know, see your comments, and, you know, have discussions back and forth about what stalker cards you have. So I'll see you guys soon. Bye.